Last week, Stadium Championship Series Red took over Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, and it was an action-packed night with 3 incredible competitions. At the end of the night, Gravedigger won his 3rd consecutive event championship, taking the lead in the series away from Todd LeDuc and Monster Energy. Can Gravedigger continue to dominate the competition, or will Todd LeDuc back up the talk? This is Stadium Championship Series Red, it's Indianapolis, and this is MonsterJam! Welcome to MonsterJam. I'm Scott Jordan alongside our Toro Loco ice driver Scott Buteau and our pit reporter Leslie Mears. We're back with Stadium Championship Series Red, and tonight it's Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis.
Scott, a lot of people might say this is the house that Peyton Manning built. I got to tell you guys something. This is the house that Lindsey Wink built.
Adam Anderson and Gravedigger riding the hottest streak in MonsterJam with 3 consecutive overall event championship wins. He's now the series points leader. For more on tonight's action, let's go down to the track with our pit reporter Leslie Mears.
Well, guys, all everyone could talk about coming into Indianapolis was Gravedigger versus Monster Energy in this heated points battle, and they overlooked Overkill, Evolution, and Mike Vaughters II. He went rounds in racing for the first time all year, then picked up the Skills Challenge victory. But unfortunately for the team who holds the lead in the event so far, they kicked a rod out of the engine and won't make it back for Freestyle. That opens up the door for LeDuc to extend his lead and kind of take charge in this points battle.
Thank you, Leslie. So tough break for Mike Vaughters II. Overkill Evolution had a chance to win his first event championship of the season. Todd LeDuc, as Leslie mentioned, now in prime position, gaining some much-needed points back. Scott, he was deducted 5 points from stadium damage last weekend.
Scott, we've seen this across the board at every single tour this year. Now, I've seen it firsthand on Stadium Tour Yellow, and it happened with Cody as well in Monster.
Coming into tonight, 6 points separated the top 2 competitions already in the books. We will have our recaps a little bit later. Right now, let's kick it off with some MonsterJam Freestyle. And this is Darren Basil and Black Stallion. He's going to hit that first jump he sees, and up over the pad he goes and rocketed it out to the second jump. So back-to-back here for Black Stallion.
Like I've said all along with Darren, Scott, what you're going to get is a consistent run, but it looks like something's wrong with the truck right here. Now, it's unfortunate for Darren. He didn't fill the 30-second clock. You've seen that a lot this year where you don't fill the clock and then you don't get any points.
Yeah, he didn't try anything extreme either, just some mechanical issues there with Black Stallion. So Darren Basil, no score for him right now. He will be considered in first until one more truck runs and gets a judge score. Brian Wright in Hooked is up next. We've seen some big air from Hooked over the last couple weeks.
We certainly have, and Brian is always consistent in the truck. He drives the MonsterJam truck to the best he can, and he always puts on a great show with these fans, and that's a big air right there for Brian.
Brian Wright in Hook, trying to fill that clock up. Sometimes that's all it takes to win Freestyle. If everybody comes out and just bombs in the first 30 seconds, you're the one guy that runs that 2-minute clock. You're putting yourself in a good spot.
You really don't know where you're going to fall in Freestyle, especially with the fan judging this year, and it's been kind of crazy with these scores, but big air is what they want. They want wow moments. They want some saves, and of course you want a back, but another big air by Brian Wright right there.
Brian Wright in Hook, starting to feel it a little bit. Another sky jump there for a Hooked. And a slap wheelie, so a combo move here in Freestyle as he spins it around right by the stalls. Other trucks looking on at Brian Wright as he continues trying to get up over that jammer. Another slap wheelie attempt, and Brian Wright starting to put some combos together in his Freestyle run.
He came right out of the gate and started hitting things hard and started going big, so I don't think he was really too worried about the 30-second clock, which I love to see. I don't like people driving around.
And there's some big air for him right there, man.
You see, he's put on a great run here. He's not worried about that. He's going big. He's put on a great run for these MonsterJam fans.
Brian Wright in Hooked again, feeling some big air, man. He runs this thing into the ground. He's been running alongside Steve Sims in Stone Crusher for quite a few years, an accomplished veteran, a quad racer in his free time, which, let's be honest, you know this as a MonsterJam truck driver, you don't get a whole lot of that.
Without a doubt, but I know what I love about what he's doing right here. He's adding some cross-threading in. Yes, he's going big. Yes, he's hitting swing square, but he's cross-threading too and adding a little bit of a different element to his game.
And when you cross thread, that's when you get the opportunities to make those dynamite saves, get those wow moments. Look at him swing the rear of Hooked around, trying to come back to the other side. He likes hitting that jammer, gets off the side of it, lands it nice. He's still got a little more time on the clock, so what do here? You swing it back around, and you come at this jump again, up over the freestyle pod.
And there's Brian Wright. There's the red light, Scott. You know, I would score this around a 7. It was a good, solid run for him. He's going to be a little bit above average, so I would think about a 7 if these fans would give him a good score here.
Brian Wright filled the clock, now feeling this sold-out crowd here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Solid run. Let's take a look at the original Super Glue glued to the action replay. He was putting together the combo moves. He was getting the big air. I like it. I think the score was just a little too low. We talked about Steve Sims earlier. Leslie Mears was able to catch up with the driver of Stone Crusher earlier. This is Inside MonsterJam.
Steve Sims has had an unusual amount of bad luck over the last 3 weeks. He sustained chassis damage, broken champagnes, and shocks broken on the truck. He says in his 15-year history, he's never had this much consecutive damage, but he thinks the truck is tougher than ever right now, and he's ready to go this weekend.
There's been a good run of bad luck for Steve Sims, and Stone Crusher going to try to change that right now. Hits the jammer first and going to try to be off and running.
It looks like the bad luck is staying with him here, Scott.
This is just not the script you want to have. He looks like he's trying to get it going again, but you got the red light.
Yeah, I think he's done, and it's unfortunate. He's gonna, not fill the clock. He's not gonna get the 30-second. He's a 30-second violation, so therefore he's not even gonna get a score.
Steve Sims and Stone Crusher, the bad luck continuing. And he gets the one jump. We've seen in freestyle before, one jump can win it all. That's not the type of one jump you're looking for.
Yeah, no, that's not the one jump that used to win it. But it's unfortunate for Steve, but it is what it is.
Adam Anderson, Gravedigger, has won back-to-back racing competitions. We'll find out if his luck continued. Racing coming up next. This portion of MonsterJam is brought to you by Spin Master. Real trucks, real action, MonsterJam. Welcome back to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. This is Stadium Championship Series Red. Scott Jordan, Scott Buteau, Leslie Mears on the call. Earlier tonight, we kicked things off with MonsterJam racing the first 14 points on the line, and they would go to Monster Energy's Todd LeDuc. So we'll show you how he got through the bracket to win the racing competition. He starts off in that right lane up against Brian Wright in Hook. This is racing round 1.
And make a point of this, Scott. Make sure you look at this. Todd kept picking the right lane in his races, but later on you'll see him flip-flop that, and he'll talk about that later on of why he chose to pick the other lane.
They got off the line pretty even. It was in that first turn that Todd was able to get some distance, and he accelerated across that long straightaway. So nice and smooth around the turn, and a nice truck-length victory for Todd LeDuc in Monster Energy. He'd move on to round number 2.
So, Scott, like I said before, Todd was choosing the right lane. He chose it in round 1. Here in round 2, he chose that as well. But I want you to keep that in mind as the rounds go later and later in this racing.
It was the first career meeting between Todd LeDuc and Darren Basil. Again, that first turn so critical when it came to getting that distance, and so nice and smooth around the turns. Todd LeDuc with some serious run and some serious speed, 17.427, moving on to the semifinal round.
He was a little slower in that round. The round before, he was 17.1. This time, he was 17.4 in that right lane. And if you take a look, he flip-flopped now to go to the left lane.
The last time these two met was MonsterJam World Final 17. Black Pearl off the starting line a little bit faster than Monster Energy. He had some work to do as he got the tire caught on the ramp. And here in that final turn, it was all Cole Bernard, but then Todd LeDuc putting on the jets and gets across the finish line. So Todd LeDuc, 16.974. You're absolutely right, continuing to get faster.
Yeah, he did. He was 17.4 or 17.1, then 17.4, but now he's 16.9 in that left lane.
And there is no love lost between these two. They went at it all year long in 2019 on Stadium Championship Series 3. And John Zimmer, 9-3 in his career against Todd LeDuc. It would go to 9-4 after this round. They were dead even around that first turn. There's LeDuc again, getting around the turn. Zimmer with a bit of an advantage coming into that final turn, but Todd LeDuc once again taking advantage of the smallest mistake, and there's your racing winner, Todd LeDuc in Monster Energy.
And he went from 16.9 to 16.8. It just shows you what Todd does. Every time he goes from round to round, he gets faster and faster.
This was the way you wanted to start the night off if you're trailing Adam Anderson and Gravedigger by 6 points. So Todd LeDuc talks the talk, and tonight he walked the walk, winning another racing competition and getting those 14 points, and Adam Anderson and Gravedigger finishing in 9th. So at this point, Todd was able to take the series lead back.
So Todd, this is your second racing win of the season, and you said that, you know, with this being the halfway point in the tour, that you needed to start strong on this doubleheader weekend. How much confidence does that give you now that you've gotten some of those points back?
It was awesome. I said earlier, you know, this is exactly at the end of the show is our halfway, and this is where we got it. This is where the championship starts. This is where Monster Energy, and this is where we got to start lighting that wick. And the truck is just on fire. Yesterday we were second quickest, and then tonight I thought I was in love with this right lane over here, but it changed over to that left lane, and to beat John Zimmer was unbelievable. He knocked off Adam Anderson, my biggest competitor right now in this championship. I can't believe it. I'm stoked. I just want to get to Great Clips two-wheel skills next. I cannot wait. I'm pumped.
I've never done one, right? So I see Brad do it all the time, and he's like a master at it. So I'm like, tonight's night. It looks like a good Carmack built the jump awesome. I'm there to try it. I want to try it. Brad didn't really give me no advice, though, because I think
he never gives me advice on
doing
the big air stuff. Oh,
I think he's trying to. He thinks I'm stealing his move, but I owe him because Ford Field he stole my big air move off the step up, and I told him this is what I'm going to do, and then he went out earlier than me in freestyle. He does that, and I'm sitting in my truck going, I told you that, dude. You stole it. So now I'm stealing his move.
We'll see if he can land it first. You know that old guy thing, you know.
See? He's doubting that I'm going to land it.
Teaching old dogs new tricks. We'll see.
We'll see.
The boys from Team Scream talking about the 8-pack. We've seen Brad Allen hit it. Will we see Jim Kohler in Avenger as he gets that first jump off the jammer?
Yeah, there's two type of backflips this year that we carried over from last year as well. There were trainer trench box type of backflips where you can hit either side, and then there's the apex that they were talking about earlier.
Sky wheelie from Mr. Excitement. This is what you can count on. No matter what he does in freestyle, how long he lasts, you're going to see 1 to 2 big jumps from Jim Kohler.
And that's what I love about Jim Kohler. You know, there's a 30-second clock violation thing. He's not worrying about that here.
And Jim Kohler's bypassing the Monster Energy backflip ramp, going to get up over the race ramp, and back down he goes on the front 2 tires. Little nose wheelie action, and there's another
big air right there,
jump
Scott.
for Jim Kohler. He gets that Avenger straight up in the sky and bounces it down on
like
all 4
here.
tires, but his night looks like it is coming to a premature and tough break for Avenger.
He had a great run started. You know, I wanted to see him to hit that backflip ramp so bad.
The original super glue glued to the action replay. Here's some of the nice jumps from Jim Kohler and Avenger right here on this one. Watch that right rear tire. Looks like it just breaks, and that would be the end of his night. Let's go back to the pits earlier tonight with Leslie.
So guys, Becky Mcdonough really pushing the limits here in Skills Challenge today, and it takes a toll on the transmission. The good thing is all the guys behind me, all hands on deck to make sure that they can get it switched out so you can make it back for freestyle.
Becky Mcdonough, El Toro Loco, started off the 2020 season with a bang, winning freestyle at Anaheim 1. Does she have another one in her here, Scott? The truck looks a little beat up, but if anybody can take it to the win, it's Becky Mcdonough.
Yeah, like I said before, I love the way Becky drives, you know, but the problem is when you do two-wheel, you take a gamble. You're taking a chance on the truck, and you never know what happens. If something happens to two-wheel and something breaks, you can come back for freestyle. But Becky's put on a great run right here. She always drives the El Toro Loco truck very hard.
And that truck body looks to be held on by only super glue as it continues to come apart. Becky Mcdonough, El Toro Loco can freestyle with the best of them. Didn't like the angle on the Monster Energy backflip ramp. So backing it up again. Here we go with the backflip for Becky Mcdonough. And El Toro getting a little bit too high and landing it right on the container. Man, she attempted it. She just got too high on the angle.
With these retainers, these new type of trench boxes, you cannot go into the backflip with that much speed. You have to slow down your truck and breathe a little bit and power into it.
Look at the score though, 9.341. The fans did not mind that. The first backflip of the night, and shoots Becky Mcdonough all the way to the top of the leaderboard. Here is the Roxor Recovery team coming out on these brand new Roxor Recovery vehicles to clear the track and keep it safe for the remainder of our MonsterJam freestyle competition. We've got more action coming up from Lucas Oil Stadium, including the Crusader. Freestyle continues next. Look outside Lucas Oil Stadium, the house that Peyton Manning built with the statue, but you said it's the house that Lindsey Wink built, so where's his statue at?
Yeah, Scott, look, Lindsey Wink, this is his house. This is Lucas Oil Stadium, Lucas Oil Crusader. He has 8 championships here. He has 5 racing championships and 3 freestyle championships. So I'm looking for him, Lindsey, to do something special here with his run.
And the name on the truck matches the name on the stadium, so no pressure here at all, Lindsey, but a lot of pressure for you. I know he doesn't care about that. He doesn't feel it as he lines up, going to straight away on that ramp. Nice jump, bringing the back 2 tires down, grazing the back of that step-up ramp, turning it back around again. Here we go. Look at how perfect he squares up to these ramps.
That's what Lindsey Wink does. He drives so consistent. He drives and he powers through everything. He gets from point A to point B very quick. That's what transition's all about. But watch that. He didn't want to bump that truck. You want to know why, Scott? He didn't want to get docked 2 points. And that's a new rule this year. If you hit a truck, if you go out of bounds, if you hit a container, you have a possible deduction of 5.
Lindsey Wink, Lucas Oil Crusader now starting to light it up here, filling the clock a little bit, feeling the run here, squaring up again, perfectly symmetrical with the 4 tires on the ramp, coming back down. He's hit that one twice now, swinging it back around, lining up again. This is where he went last time, again over the ramp, across the pad goes Lindsey Wink and Lucas Oil Crusader. Now he's got a lot of space as he bypasses the backflip ramp, but whips it back around, and across the ramp he goes.
And he's going to power right through here. Look at that. From one ramp to the next ramp, he didn't stop to kind of gather the truck. He powered right through that next transition, and it keeps on going.
Nice air for Lindsey Wink, making his 11th appearance in Indianapolis, whipping it back around, coming back to the side. He seems to favor a little bit more of the freestyle run, and here he goes now back up over the pod, cross-threading, and lands it nicely, slap wheelie down the end.
You talk about Lucas Oil, you have Forrest Lucas here this weekend cheering Lindsey on, so what a great sponsor in Lucas Oil.
Lindsey Wink starting to run out of time here on the clock as he maneuvers for the Monster Energy backflip ram, hits the brakes, and he will get a clean shot. Here we go, Lindsey. Land it. He gets it up there on the front 2 tires, bouncing it in a back-to-back. Almost had the same man, but a back-to-back flip in the air, bounces off the container, but cannot quite land it. Almost another candidate for St. Jude's save of the night, but Scott, what a spectacular ending to Lindsey Wink's freestyle run.
Without a doubt, what a way to end it here. Hey, take a ride on the wild side right here, Scott. Look at the onboard camera. Look at the focus in Lindsey Wink's eyes.
With it all the way to the end, and here comes Brad Allen in Monster Mutt Rottweiler hitting that first jump, lining it up down the straightaway. Here he comes again, squaring it up to hit that race ramp. Well done, lands it, slap wheelie combo at the end.
Brad has been known for hitting the apex backflip ramp, and it's something that I love about Brad. He's very consistent. He goes big. He is a perfect person to represent Team Scream.
Cross-threading off the side of the ramp. That score for Lindsey Wink, that's going to be tough to beat. That's the highest score he's had in 2020. And what a great place for him to get that here in Indianapolis. As you said, the house that Lindsey Wink built. But Brad Allen doesn't care about that right now. Brad Allen cares about hitting something that's going to make these fans erupt.
Brad's put on a great run right now. He always comes out, hits everything square, hits everything consistent. He truly represents Team Scream exactly how you'd want someone driving these MonsterJam trucks.
Longtime crew chief for Jim Kohler, an Avenger, never intended to be a driver, but taking advantage of it as he hits a step-up ramp and gets some nice air. Again, a little slap wheelie combo, whether that's intentional or unintentional. One of my favorite moves in MonsterJam Freestyle. Look at him go. Now cross-threading again on top of the freestyle pod, coming back around again. Monster Mutt Rottweiler in a groove.
Sure is. I wonder when he's going to hit this back. You know he's going to do it. It's a big air right there. Going across, cross-running right there. It's got to be in the back of his mind. He's got to want to hit that thing pretty soon.
He has become very successful at the 8-pack backflip. It's very hidden on the track, so you get that wow factor, that surprise moment for the fans in Indianapolis. Swinging it back around. Here he goes up against some air on that obstacle, the freestyle pad. Again, now winging it back through the middle of the track here. So now what do? You're in the middle. How about you go over to the 8-pack?
Here we go, Scott. Here we go.
Up. Brad Allen hitting the 8-pack.
Oh, what a hit, Scott.
And he
That's
got it,
perfect.
man. The body falls off, but he lands it, and he is back backing up for more. It's showtime for Brad Allen.
Shredding the body right here. Now what a heck of a sky wheelie right there to end his run.
That is a great combination. You hit the backflip, you sky wheelie, the smoke doesn't matter. The crowd loves to see it. That is the run of the year, possibly, for Brad Allen and Monster Mutt Rottweiler.
What a great run, Scott. We talked about there's two types of backflips. There's the retainers where you got to have a slow approach to it and go up to the container and power through it. But with these Apex, you got to have a little more speed just like that to power and get you around and get you out for BKT tires.
The body just peeled off a Monster Mutt Rottweiler. As you take a look at the BKT Freestyle Top 5, we have a new leader. At the top, it is Brad Allen and Monster Mutt Rottweiler looking for his first career Stadium Freestyle win. Right now, let's showing Cole Vennard and one of our fans.
Hi, my name is Mason. I want to know what your favorite freestyle move is.
My favorite freestyle move is one that I kind of created last year that I call walk the plank. And that's where I do a backflip into a wheelie and drive away like I'm walking the plank.
One of the most spectacular moves in MonsterJam, the walk the plank backflip. Up next is the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge recap. Come on back to Indianapolis. You're back at the home of the Indianapolis Colts tonight. It's the home of Stadium Championship Series Red. Earlier we showed you what happened in MonsterJam Racing. Our second competition of the night was the Great Clip Skills Challenge. It was won by Mike Vaughters II in Overkill Evolution. So let's take you back at some of the spectacular moves. Todd LeDuc with the stoppie into the nose wheelie, and he was able to get some great elevation on that.
Todd has really perfected the stoppie, and one of the things he does also very well is a slap wheelie.
So 2 successful hits for Todd LeDuc in Monster Energy. He would finish in 5th. Bryce Kennedy, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, he would go for the stoppie as well and try to moonwalk it back up onto the freestyle pod.
Something I like what Bryce did last year. He was doing the reverse into a wheelie. Now this year he's doing the front push off of the pod and doing to a stoppie. So I like what Bryce doing. He's changing it up.
Gets a nice nose wheelie on that second attempt. Here is Lindsey Wink with the bicycle and the sidewall save. That is a candidate for the St. Jude save of the night. Second hit all the way back on the rear of Lucas Oil, man. That was a spin move. We call that the breakdancing Lucas Oil Crusader. And here is Indiana's own Jamie Garner in overboard. Look at the wheelie across that freestyle pad and then into a popper. And he got it. He was dialed in on this in front of his hometown crowd.
That's wonderful. Look what Jamie's doing. He's walking up there slowly. That's patience. True patience. Oh, can he save it, though? Oh, what a lucky little roll. That was slow
and steady wins the race, so he gets credit for the save. And here was our winner, Mike Vaughters II, Overkill Evolution. Look at the nose wheelie, just the cool, calm, and collected truck moving across the freestyle obstacle course.
Perfect perfection and patience by Mikey Vaughters right there. He has perfected this, and he has made this his own now.
And the second attempt gets it back up on the nose, now moonwalking it back and forth. So you go from nose wheelie to moonwalking, and this has become his thing. He turns the wheel sideways and maintains the nose wheelie.
Yeah, you see Tom Mentz doing it all the time. You see Neil Elliott doing it all the time. But Mikey truly has perfected this move, and he also tilts the truck, moves the steering, and kind of make it walk and dance.
9.603, the score that got him the win. So Mike Vaughters II got 14 points. Of course, we heard Leslie earlier. He would be done after this competition, unable to compete in freestyle. But let's hear from our winner, Mike Vaughters II.
So, Mike, this is your third Skills Challenge victory of the year, and I love what you're doing out there. So unique. What are you calling this new signature move when you got it on those front tires?
I might just call it the moon crab. You know, I just been working on those all summer long. All the summer shows, I've just been dialing in the moonwalks. I said I want to come in the first quarter, and I want to show these boys what's up. I wanted to dominate in it. And tonight, Indy, we won a couple rounds in racing. We just took home the Skills Challenge. That was for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, because it just cost me my engine. I will not be back for freestyle. I have a huge hole in my oil pan right now, but it was for you guys. If it wouldn't be for you guys in these seats, I couldn't come out here and play, and I truly appreciate it, guys. That's all for you. If I can't make it back in freestyle, all these other drivers are going to give you guys a show, so make some noise for these guys. They're going to give it their all.
Well, let's hear it for him one more time. Your Skills Challenge champion, Mike Vaughters II, Overkill Evolution.
Let's get back now to MonsterJam Freestyle with John Zimmer and Dragon off to a rough start in 2020. He's been very vocal about that as well.
He sure has. It's been difficult this whole year with him. The former teammate of Team Ice, so I'm hoping he can catch up with points here. Earlier today, we had a chance to catch up with John. He talked about the struggles he had all year.
My role is easy for me. It's just I want to start winning. It's we've always joked, or in the past you might hear interviews, oh, I don't care about winning. I just do this for blah, blah, blah. That is true to a point. We want to win. It's that simple. We're racers at heart. So for me to start this season just really fumbling, last week felt really good for me. So to come into this week, kind of a new mindset. My crew chief and I are on the same page again. It's going to be a lot of fun maybe to go out here and really just wear these guys out. They're all up front fighting for the points, talking trash about each other. It's like I can ruin all of it for them.
So John Zimmer looking to play spoiler, and I think it's very obvious there's no one else he'd rather spoil than Todd LeDuc and Monster Energy, man. What would it mean for John to just derail the title hopes of Todd?
I think it's awesome, and this is the fun part of MonsterJam when the pressure's off, you can kick back and have a little fun with the guys and not worry where you stand. Yes, we all want to win. Yes, we want to go to MonsterJam World Finals, but at times like these times right here are sometimes of the funnest times in MonsterJam.
And I like that he said that, because we do hear that a lot. I'm just here to, burn it down in freestyle. I'm here to just get the crowd on their feet. No, you're here to win. It's a competition. It's a competitive sport, and you want that big to World Finals. And this is a new John Zimmer. This is the old John Zimmer that we're watching now in Dragon.
This is what you want to see. He's cross-running all over the place. He's going, and he's going to hit the apex backflip right here. A little
the apex just guided straight up in the air, comes down. That's a broken wheel, man. He just took that wheel right off. 12,000 pounds
sure did.
of...
And we talked about this earlier, Scott, the different approaches to the backflip. And that one right there, I think he went a little too slow and couldn't get around enough, and he landed right on the corner.
12,000 pounds of MonsterJam steel landing on that front right wheel. And we move on now to Bryce Kennedy, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Your leader remains Brad Allen and Monster Mutt Rottweiler.
Bryce Kennedy, I love this guy. He's such a great person and a great family man. He's a perfect representation of what you want for Great Clips and MonsterJam. Bryce puts on a great show every single time he drives his truck. He goes hard. I love the way he's doing it. Earlier today, he talked about the struggles he's had, about trusting the truck. Sky, let's take a listen to what Bryce had to say.
Sometimes with these trucks, you just have to know that they're going to take whatever you throw at them. And I think the last couple of weekends, without even really knowing it, I probably went into the night feeling like the truck might be a little bit more fragile than it actually is. But these guys, Scott Phillips, Andrew Whitlock, they've done such a great job this week. I can't wait to go in there and stab this throttle and put everything I can at this Great Clips Mohawk Warrior truck. I know it's going to take it. It's time to go.
Bryce Kennedy's off to a great start in racing, 7-3, but has not had a freestyle finish higher than 5th in 2020. So we've seen him win some freestyles in the past. He'd like to get it together now, feeling comfortable, and we heard that from John Zimmer earlier as well. So Bryce Kennedy trying to just let loose, live on that ragged edge, and run Great Clips Mohawk Warrior into something, anything he can find in front of him.
Scotty talked about how mentally it kind of messes with you. It takes a toll on you mentally when you don't trust your truck. I've struggled with that a little bit this year too, hoping the truck stays together. It's such a mental toll and stress that it plays on you as a driver.
Great look inside the cab. Bryce Kennedy, 2 hands on the wheel. There's some nice air for Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. A 1-wheel slap wheelie. Spinning it back around and lining up for the Monster Energy backflip ramp. This is what he needs to do. This is the wow moment. He loves to preach that. Come on, Bryce, hit it and land it. Up in the air for Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Bouncing on the rear tires. Looks like a broken wheel again, but he still lands it.
A little too fast again. And that's what I'm telling you. These retainers throws you so fast. You got to have the patience to crawl up to that thing slow and then power through it. It's unfortunate. He had such a great run.
Closer look at the original super glue glued to the action replay. That right rear spindle just not holding up. And right now it's time for the UNOH pit report.
So Jamie, skills challenge out there. You were getting a little creative. And so what was the finish that you were trying to put on your move there?
So I was trying to go backwards up the hill on my front tires. As soon as I got on top of the hill, I was going to try to endo it back onto its wheels. Didn't quite work, but it's pretty cool.
So with that, we see a lot of oil on the truck. And so what's causing that? Do you have any other issues?
Oil leaked out around the mag. They're topping it back off, tighten the mag back down. We're good to go.
BKT Freestyle Top 5, Monster Mutt Rottweiler remains your leader. Lucas Oil Crusader, El Toro Loco Dragon, and Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior rounding out the top 5. But the 2 trucks at the top of the leaderboard have yet to run. Monster Energy, Gravedigger, and more coming up. Come on back to Stadium Championship Series Red. This portion of MonsterJam is brought to you by Great Clips, home of the online check-in app. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. You're watching MonsterJam from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. Stadium Championship Series Red at about the halfway mark on the road to World Finals 21. Todd LeDuc and Monster Energy has won racing tonight, retaking the series points lead. Had some strong words earlier tonight.
I personally think that MonsterJam must have a vendetta against us. You know, we should be 1 point behind, but we hit a container after a backflip. That makes no sense to me. You know, that's the risk that we take out there as drivers. Now we're 6 behind. And if you're 6 points behind Adam, that's not a fun gap to make up. But here at Indy, I have to leave with a points lead, and that's all we're dead set on doing.
Now let's talk about this. Is there a vendetta against Todd LeDuc and Monster Energy?
Absolutely not. It's across the board. They're taking points away. There's rules this year. If you hit a container, if you hit a truck, there's certain rules, and that's what happens. You know, so there's no personal vendetta against Monster Energy or Todd LeDuc, but I gotta agree with him on the backflip part. You can't control it. If you hit a dumpster that's right next to the backflip ramp, you shouldn't be docked points. That's just my opinion, and that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, not only did that cost him the series points, well, he would have been losing anyway by 1 point, now trailing by 6 coming into tonight. It also dropped him down to 7th in the MonsterJam Power Rankings, and this has become a big deal to our drivers. We talk about this all the time on tour. They want to be number 1, and if anybody's ranked above them, they want to take them out. So Todd took a tumble due to that penalty in Tampa.
You're talking about a power ranking that has arenas and stadiums mixed together. To me, I don't really put anything on that because that's nothing. But what matters is where are you at in your series tour. It doesn't matter where you're at on a little chart, on a chart saying that you ranked this or that.
Look at the save, though, for Todd LeDuc. That matters, Scott. That
Without
matters
a doubt.
right there.
This is the Todd LeDuc. This is what he does best. He goes big. It's time right now to do the Monster Energy backflip ramp right now.
And Todd LeDuc lining up now, the Monster Energy backflip ramp. Here goes LeDuc, and he lands on a 1 tire and on the rear tire.
And you're talking about a container, Scott? There you go.
There's another container, so he bounces from the front left to the rear right. That will end his freestyle night. 8.914 fourth place. Gotta be disappointing for Todd LeDuc and Monster Energy.
He had a great run, and again, there's nothing you can do. If you look at it here, there's nothing you can do. Control the truck. All he did was settle the truck and it bounced in the container.
Now, this has not been the night so far for Adam Anderson and Gravedigger, but this is an opportunity for him to gain some points back and possibly retake that lead. And we talk about the power rankings. Adam has now climbed up to third in the power rankings due to back-to-back-to-back event championships.
What I like with Adam, he talked about it a couple weeks ago, was he's not worrying about the 30 seconds. He came out right away and went big. And that's what I love about Adam Anderson. His brother Ryan does the same darn thing. And he doesn't even worry about the 30-second clock.
Gravedigger now up over the freestyle pod. Feeling it is Adam Anderson, the 5-time World Finals champion. We'll see his dad, Dennis, inducted into the MonsterJam Hall of Fame World Finals weekend. You can get your tickets at MonsterJam.com. And he's been almost perfect the last couple weeks. He's earned an 80 out of a possible 84 points. So he has elevated his status and now trying to get those points back with a rough start to his night. Some
right
nice
there,
air
Scott.
for Gravedigger. Look at the bounce, man. Look how high he got off of the bounce.
His truck settles so well. If you watch, that thing just settles. It just soaks up everything he throws at the truck.
And he does not stop at all. He has one gear, and that is fast as he clears the race ramp, now almost ending up in front of Avenger, able to slightly avoid Jim Kohler. And now finding his way. Here we go, backing it up.
Go
full
bigger,
send
go home.
for Adam Anderson and Gravedigger, and there it is all the way across the track.
He cleared those pods easily. I love what Adam's doing right now. He's putting on a typical Gravedigger run right here.
Todd LeDuc sits in 4th right now in freestyle. Adam Anderson needs to finish 3rd or better to get some of those points back as he continues to whip it around to the near side of the track. Goes Gravedigger. Every jump just seems like he gets more air than anybody else.
It's a truck, man. It soaks up. I love the way Adam drives. He drives so hard. And look at that.
the air, man. Big air
thread.
for Adam Anderson, and Gravedigger just hitting everything. I think he's jumped every ramp on this track. Here he goes again, straight up to the sky for Gravedigger, bouncing it off the pod and landing it, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to continue with that landing.
What a great run, though, Scott. He came out, he went big. Again, he didn't worry about the 30-second clock, and he did what he had to do.
Is it better than Todd LeDuc, though? We're going to find out here in just a moment. The crowd seems to think so, and it's not, though. Look at that score. He's going to finish behind LeDuc, so no matter what happens, Todd LeDuc and Monster Energy will take the series points lead into next week.
I truly got to say it's because he didn't backflip. As much as, you know, guys don't want to say that, but if you don't put a backflip in your run, it sometimes hurts you.
All right, now let's take a look at the Monster Energy action of the week. And for this, we go to San Diego Petco Park. This was week 1 for Stadium Championship Series Yellow, and there is Camden Murphy in Bakugan Dragonoid landing on the front, bouncing it up, and he's going to try to save it, and he gets it, the one-tire save for Camden Murphy, and that is why that is the Monster Energy action of the week. Your BKT Freestyle Top 5. What a night so far for Monster Mutt Rottweiler with Brad Allen behind the wheel. A dynamite freestyle run has him on top of the leaderboard, 9.488. And we are running out of MonsterJam trucks, but the hometown boy, Jamie Gardner in Overboard, is suiting up. Colvinard, the Black Pearl, that's all coming up next. This is MonsterJam in Indianapolis, Indiana. And right up the road in Fortville, Indiana, the home of Overboard Motorsports. Of course, that's Jamie Gardner, whose team now consists of Colvinard. So you have Overboard and the Black Pearl, the last 2 MonsterJam trucks remaining, and a very concerned Brad Allen looking at his lead.
Yeah, it's tough sitting there when you're watching the last, I think he's probably watched six trucks or more now, so you're sitting there and you're waiting to see the scores. It's very stressful at times.
And if it holds, this would be the first Stadium Freestyle event win of his career, but all you have left in front of you are the 2 drivers that have won the last 2 freestyles. You have Colvinard, who won in Houston, and Jamie Gardner, who won last week in Tampa.
And Colvinard continues to be on a tear with freestyle. He's been known for that walk-the-plank move, so let's see if he can do that here today. It's got to be tough for Brad to watch these 2 teammates go at it.
And looking at these 2 teammates, if Colvinard hits the walk-the-plank, that's it. It's over. He wins freestyle every time he nails it. And with Jamie Gardner, the hometown hero, it's a judgeszone.com scoring. The fans score the winner, so why wouldn't they show some bias to the guy from Indiana?
I think you're correct. I think you're right with that, Scott. If Cole can manage to get the walk the plank and land it correctly, I think he walks away with the win here.
Here we go, about 30 seconds into the run. Colvinard and the Black Pearl lining it up for some cross-threading action. We like seeing that. Here he goes up over the jammer, straight up sky wheelie for the Black Pearl monster truck. Colvinard can win freestyle any single night. He's actually one of the most consistent freestyle drivers on this series, if not, in fact, in all of MonsterJam.
You're absolutely right. Not only he's great at freestyle, he's great at skills competition, and he's awesome at racing as well. And he's lining up right here. Here we go.
We are going to see if Indianapolis is about to walk the plank. The Black Pearl approaching the ramp, gets it up. This is the bounce he needs, but he can't get it.
Such a gamble. You have to under-rotate perfectly in order to do that. What a gamble. It just didn't pay off.
And you have to rely on that bounce. It is a spectacular move tonight, not his night. Going to finish in 8th place. Colvinard and the Black Pearl was putting together a nice run, just could not land that walk the plank.
It's such a gamble, Scott. We talk about this every single time we see this, and you don't know how the truck's going to react. I thought maybe he would over-rotate and rotate a little more, he'd be able to save it, but just wasn't his night.
So Brad Allen, Monster Mutt Rottweiler remaining the leader. Just one MonsterJam truck remains in his way to try to win this thing tonight. And that is Fortville, Indiana's very own Jamie Gardner of Overboard Motorsports. And what a run he put together in Tampa last week.
And look, he ain't worrying about the 30-second clock. He's in it to win it right here. Go big or go home. That's Overboard.
And his entire team having a dynamite year. He's won racing already this season. He's won freestyle this season. If he can put together something in the Great Clip Skills Challenge, he'll just get the trifecta in 2020 of competition. So Jamie Gardner and Overboard try to take the win away from Brad Allen. Let's hear what Jamie Gardner had to say.
You know, honestly, calm myself down, teammate. Without Cole, we sit in the truck before freestyle and we kind of chat back and forth. So that helps calm me down. I try to help calm him down. So me and him kind of chatting back and forth, and you get to watch everybody else go. Gives me a better game plan. We can see if they're knocking their dirt hills down to make the hills a little bit easier to hit, a little bit higher, and all that. Honestly, hometown show, it definitely nerve-wracking, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
So constant communication between Jamie Garner and Cole Bernard. You gotta like hearing that cross-threading the jumps of big air for Overboard as he tries to continue this freestyle run. And what a coup it would be to win back-to-back weekends in freestyle. And it's jumps
right
like
there.
that got him the win in Tampa.
Yeah, he's cross-threading. I like what he's doing here. Oh, he stopped right here. I don't know if it's an RI, probably wasn't RI, the truck wasn't blinking.
He's refiring, he's back up and ready to go. You gotta like that sound. You hear the refire, and he is ready to get back. And the first jump he sees is the first one he's gonna hit.
And that's what happens, when you get shut off or something happens to the truck, it kind of messes with you mentally, so you want to go big right away.
Now backing it up, doesn't like the angle he has on this ramp. He is going to send it now overboard to big air.
Clear
for Jamie Garner, just clearing the pod, and Brad Allen can just watch
Looks
and
a little
wait.
worried right there. He did exactly what Adam did in the run prior. He cleared both the runs. Go for the backflip right
He
here.
landed it last week. Can he do it again? Skying it up, and he's going to land on the side. So Overboard not able to land it. We will see what the score is. And that is going to do it. 8th place for Overboard. You should take a look at some of the jumps here on the super glue glued to the action replay. And he's in 8th place. You know what that means, Scott. The freestyle run belongs to Brad Allen in Monster Mutt Rottweiler. There it is,
Celebrating
man.
right there with team screen. That's so awesome. First ever stadium win. I'm very happy for Brad Allen.
You gotta love that moment, man. Brad is one of the nicest guys in MonsterJam. He will talk your ear off about monster trucks. He knows everything, being a former crew chief, and you just gotta be so happy for him as you take a look at the freestyle point standings. The congratulations from Jim Kohler. The difference was Brad Allen, the only driver to hit the backflip and keep going. Let's hear from our freestyle winner.
So Brad, tonight you become the 6th driver on this tour to win freestyle as you pick up your first career MonsterJam Stadium freestyle. What was it like to wait for the 12 minutes of freestyle for those 6 trucks to run before you could be crowned the champ tonight?
Oh, it was the longest 6 minutes of my career, man. This track, it was awesome. Everybody here ran, like I said, can't speak right now. My words are just gone. First freestyle win ever in a stadium. Man, it's the greatest feeling ever.
What does it mean to do it in Indianapolis, which is close to home and one of the sponsors for your team, Lucas Oil Stadium here? Does that make it a little bit more special?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This beautiful building, Lucas Oil, one of our best sponsors. Man, I couldn't ask for a better place to do this in. Love this town.
Leslie with an interesting stat. 6 events, 6 different freestyle winners. That hasn't been done anywhere else in MonsterJam. Todd LeDuc, though, his celebration now beginning as he wins the overall event championship, getting a lot of points back. Adam Anderson and Gravedigger's going to finish in 10th. So what a night. Best case scenario for Todd LeDuc and Monster Energy. And Leslie down on the track once again presenting the trophy. Let's hear from our event champion, Todd LeDuc.
So Todd, you backed up your words from earlier today by saying you just had to come in here. You had to get it out of Digger country and come to Indianapolis to take the points lead on the tour, and that's what you did.
No, it's a clean slate. I've never been to Indy, and this stadium is beautiful. The city's been awesome. I've been driving around, and I just been trying to give back to the community. We did an awesome Monster Energy display at a Walmart, and I just love Indy. I cannot wait. If you don't have tickets for tomorrow, get them, because I cannot wait to do the show tomorrow. So unbelievable. This is for my guys. I'm going to give this to them, and this is what we needed. We needed to put some points on Gravedigger, and we did. And congrats to Brad. He did a great freestyle. I just got a flat, and that was the end of our run. But I want to go hard tomorrow, and I just cannot wait. But thanks, Indy, and all you fans for coming out. I really appreciate it. You guys gave me such awesome love. I'm beyond stoked.
Let's find out what move got the St. Jude save of the night. It is Lindsey Wink, Lucas Oil Crusader, the Great Clip Skills Challenge.
He's trying to do a bicycle right here. They're going over. He saves it right there, Scott. What an awesome move. Take a look at the onboard camera. Look at his eyes and the focus of Lindsey Wink.
To donate and join the movement, text MonsterJam to 785-833. You can get your This Shirt Saves Lives t-shirt with just a $20 a month donation, but every donation counts. Again, 785-833. Text MonsterJam to that number. The season point standings going into next week now, an 8-point lead for Todd the Duke and Monster Energy.
And this is where reality starts setting in for some drivers. When you are losing by 50 points off the series, it's reality sinking in. You've got to make it up.
And Monster Energy and Gravedigger comfortable at the top. They're going to be tough to catch. What an epic finish to tonight's event. Brad Allen, congratulations to everybody at Team Scream for that incredible freestyle win. But at the end of the night, Scott Todd the Duke backed up his words and wins the overall event championship, regains the series lead.
He sure did. You know, what a bold statement. He came in and he said he was going to come in here and start winning, and that's what he did. Not only did he win racing, but he won the overall championship as well.
Check out our latest power rankings at monsterjam.com. You can get your tickets to World Finals 21 there as well. For Scott Buteau and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Thanks for joining us tonight in Indianapolis. Good night.